Hi, I'm Mr. Bowman. I'm the head of music at Haydon School, and this is why you should be doing A-level music. So A-level music allows you to explore how music has changed over 250 years of history, how new instruments that have been invented and new technologies that have been invented, and how audiences listen to music has shaped the music that was written over that time. And we explore a wide number of styles in that time. The course is broken down into three different components. The first component is the performing component, and at A-level you have the option to weight this either 35% or 25%, depending on where your skills and preferences lie. You have to perform either 3 or 2 pieces as a recital in front of a visiting examiner after the 1st of March in year 13. And generally, we're looking for grade 6 minimum standard. So if you're currently playing an instrument at grade 4, grade 5 standard, you are perfectly capable of reaching grade 6 by the end of year 13. I should say that also obviously includes vocalists as well. You then have a composition element, which again is weighted to either 25 or 35%, depending on how that's working with your performing component. And you have to compose either 2 compositions or 3 compositions. One of those is to a brief set by the exam board and has to be in the Western classical style. So that links very nicely to what you do in component 3, which is the appraising component, which is assessed in an exam in year 13, and that carries 40% weighting. We have 3 areas of study. The first one is the Western classical tradition, and we look specifically at the development of the symphony, the greatest form, many people think, in Western classical music, and how that changed over the years of 1750 to 1900. And it's putting what you learn in that into practice in the composition to a brief. We have 2 set works that we study, one by Haydon, which is Symphony number 104, the last one that he wrote in London, and Mendelssohn's Symphony number 4, which is nicknamed the Italian, about his adventures in Italy. And we cover a range of works from the early Mannheim school right through to the late Romantic symphonies of people like Brahms and Mahler, and we also look at symphonic poems by composers like Liszt. We then mix it up with a bit of area of study B. This is one of the optional areas of study, and we've chosen to look at rock and pop music from 1960 through to 2000. So this covers all the genres that you can think of under this. So how rock developed through the 70s to include things like prog rock. We look at soul and how that then develops into disco, into house music and dance music in the 1980s, 1990s. We also look at hip hop, and various genres that have come out of that as well. So you really get the full spectrum there. And then the final area study, again, is an optional one. We have a choice of 2, and we've gone for into the 20th century. So this links nicely from where we've got to with the development of the symphony and that style of writing, and how that changes in the early 20th century when we start to really push the boundaries of tonality and going into atonal music with expressionism, and then the reaction against that with neoclassicism as well. And we have 2 further set works here, the wonderful Nuage by Debussy and the cheeky little Poulenc trio as well. So we try and challenge your thinking as we go through, thinking about things like how we consume music these days has perhaps changed how we think about it and perhaps impacted its intrinsic artistic value, or whether serialism is in fact a valid method of composition. And is dissonance really necessary for more expressive music? And we try and consider these from both a theoretical point of view as well as a practical point of view. The teachers are myself and Miss Drysdale, and the sort of skills we'll be looking to develop through the A-level course are things like critical thinking, being able to apply your analysis through a range of different works to come to an informed decision and conclusion, creative thinking, thinking creatively in terms of composition, analytical writing, be able to analyze the set works that we're going through, developing your cultural capital and your understanding of music history, musical analysis, being able to identify chords and melodic phrases, various patterns that occur within a work to build out its structure, working on your essay writing techniques, being able to write a well-structured argument, your communication skills, and most importantly, your oral skills, being able to identify things within the music using your ears. And what we're looking for in terms of people taking this course is people who have a real passion for music, are curious about lots of different types of music over a wide range of history, people who are looking to share their opinions about the music we're studying, and people who can think critically and have explanations for musical developments, certainly develop those explanations, and who want to learn and to try hard. Now, if you're thinking about taking music and you're not sure about where it should take me, don't think that just taking music A level will mean that you'll go on to do that at university. Not everyone does. And it's a really highly regarded academic subject in its own right. The kind of analytical skills that you build up in music, you don't really get in many other subjects. It's the sort of subject that will make you stand out from your peers. A very small percentage of the population take music A level, but it goes to show that if you do take it, you are someone who has persevered, you're dedicated, disciplined, and self-motivated to keep up your interest in the subject, to be able to learn your instrument and put in all that hard work and practice. So it is a subject that could really make you stand out alongside your peers. So I look forward to welcoming some of you back to Haydon next year to study A-level music.